AI browsers are one of the most exciting things happening right now, in my opinion. I got early access to Comet, which is Perplexity's new AI browser, and I've been testing it for a while. And in this video, I want to share a couple of use cases that stood out to me. They're relevant whether you are a solopreneur, small business owner, entrepreneur, creator, and honestly, just anyone who wants to work smarter online. I'll also show you different ways you can apply for access. And if you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Elena, and here we explore how to use AI and automation to build authentic online businesses. So if you're a solopreneur, online business owner, or creator, make sure to hit the subscribe button and join our community here on YouTube. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to go to perplexity.ai/comet. Here I will explain how much does it cost and different ways to get access to that. I pay $20 a month for Perplexity Pro, and I have access to this because I applied to be on the wait list. So as soon as they launched that and started opening up to Perplexity Pro approximately a month ago, I got access to this. What I've heard in the comments on my previous video is that someone actually joined the wait list and got access pretty quickly in a matter of a few days. So what I would encourage you to do is to go to this page and press Get Comet. You will get prompted to log in with your email address. And once you do that, you will see this type of information saying that Comet requires an invitation. Join the waitlist to be notified when access opens up. So just join the waitlist if you don't have access already. If you're a student, you can also get early access. So it's the same procedure. You download it, and then I think they prompt you to verify your student status, like your student card. And you can read here on this page, perplexity.ai/grow/comet students. I will leave all the links in the description below. And you will receive educational discount and early access to Comet when you sign up. So that's another way. Once you have your access, you will get an email, you will download Comet, and basically it will look like a new tab in your menu on your computer. Okay, so now we are in the browser. So this is how it looks like. It looks like any other browser, apart from one tiny detail. If you scroll here on the top right corner, you will see something that says assistant. So there's a couple more things. There is voice mode here, so you can interact with voice and summarize the current web page. So those are like quick commands, but we're mostly going to be using the assistant today. So let's use a hypothetical example because I think it would be much easier to show like using some avatar in my head. Let's say we are a yoga teacher, yoga instructor, maybe an owner of a yoga studio, so someone within this space. And let's see how we can use it. So the first way you can use it is to audit your own page. Let's say I just recently found this wonderful yoga studio and I just want to use them as an example. So what can we do with this? We press on this button called Assistant and we see the Assistant window pops up here. So what I would do then, if I'm an owner of this yoga studio, you can audit your homepage. So we're going to start quite general and we're going to say audit this page and suggest improvements to bring more customers into my studio, right? And we're going to see what happens. It's doing the audit, it gives some strengths, improvement suggestions. So strengthen the call to action, consider beginner intro offers, social proof, add a section, pricing transparency, email capture, make class types clickable, lead into details, class descriptions or videos. Here it also can suggest SEO, right? Which is really important to be able to be found. And from here we can go anywhere. You can ask it from SEO perspectives, from readability, from accessibility perspective, from conversion. If you have a sales page, you can ask it to analyze like how to improve your conversion rate. You could just basically do anything and you don't have to copy the page and go to ChatGPT. You can just do it all in the same place, which I think is quite incredible. So another way you can use it, basically the same use cases, but from a different perspective is, let's say you want to research, you're starting a new yoga studio in your city and you want to research other yoga studios. You just want to do this competition landscape analysis. So what we can say here, I'm planning to start a new yoga studio, analyze this from a competitor standpoint and suggest any gaps that I can fill and provide value. I'm prompting it, as you can see, just in my own words, just thinking out loud. So here it gives us analysis, like potential opportunities for my studios. There's no clear specialization or focus on trending practices. And I've said this before, Perplexity is extremely strong when it comes to trend research. So it actually brings in the trends, sound healing, breath work, trauma informed. So that highlights as opportunity. No mention of family, children, teens. That's another potential opportunities to bring more family, especially if you use your own analysis and you know that this is an area that is very family friendly. So you could just, it gives you so many ideas when you're starting your business. So you want to scale or you want to pivot, you can add digital classes. Okay, we all love passive income, right? So what kind of workshops? I think this is great. So use it to audit your own page and give suggestions how to improve that from different perspectives. Use it for competition research, and you can do it one by one, or you can actually go here to the search bar and say, find me 10 yoga studios in this area, and then you analyze all of them. So you don't have to go one by one, but you can just do a thorough analysis and a summary. This is something that I found really interesting. So another thing that I want to show you, let's stay with yoga for a while. Let's say we're starting a new yoga studio or like a new yoga practice, or we're starting to create content on that, which is an essential part of any business. And you basically want to either get some inspiration what content to create. Secondly, you want to improve your SEO. When you're creating content, you can leverage basically the language that the customers, what are they already looking for, right? Which is increasingly helpful for your reach and how potential customers will find you. So one of the examples that a page that I like using for that is Answer the Public, and I've showed it in my previous videos, but you can use it for free for limited amount of searches, but for what we're doing is totally enough. So let's say we have yoga, then we're choosing the United States, but you can also use your area and the language. And we press search. And what this tool does, it scans the entire internet and it just gives you the idea of what people are searching for. What are the actual questions that people are typing into the Google search, or you can also search, I think, on YouTube, TikTok, Amazon. So you can choose the platforms here. I think you need to pay them for this tool. But overall, to get a general idea. So what you see here is how yoga changed my life, how yoga changes your body, how yoga poses help with bloating. Like, those are the real things people are searching for. So if you're working on your content strategy, this is absolute gold for you. You can see what kind of questions were people asking online about yoga. Again, this could be just titles of your videos, of your shorts, of your newsletters. And basically you get like a lot of data, right? So what I did in my previous video is actually I suggested that you screenshot that and you put in a ChatGPT, and then you ask it to create you SEO tags, some titles for your reels or videos. But here we can do it all without leaving the tool. So basically here I want to say, analyze this page and give me, let's say, 10 ideas for YouTube videos. We can say prioritize most searched terms, and a list of tags and keywords to optimize for SEO. Here you go, YouTube video ideas. These are, and it says on highly searched, these ideas based on highly searched yoga terms from this keyword report. So it gives this idea: yoga for seniors, yoga explained, yoga, and this is YouTube, right? If you ask for TikTok Reels ideas or Instagram, right, or whatever, it will give you very different type of language for this. And here it gives a list of key SEO tags and so on. And it gives you some suggestions. Include the primary keywords, use the relevant tags, right? So here, if I would be creating YouTube videos on YouTube about yoga and doing yoga, I would just take it from here and put it like optimize, make sure that my video is optimized for new people to find me. You can ask it to do it for newsletter. What else can we do? It could be like a digital product. It could be, you get the idea by now, right? I'm just giving you examples. I want to create a lead mag for my yoga brand based on this research. Suggest 10 ideas. Okay, and here it gives us 10 ideas. And it explains what kind of search is optimized. So 30-day yoga challenge, beginner's guide to yoga, cheat sheet, email drip or video. You can just zoom in and start shaping your product if you want. I love that it captured yoga myths and benefits. This would be great social media content. You can do a quiz. So this is how to use this kind of data. It could be a report. It could be anything interesting that you find online within your niche, within your space. And then you just do this analysis with the assistant. So let's go to the next use case. What I want to show you here is the ability of this assistant to analyze the content of the videos. So let's say we ask find 10 most subscribed creators in yoga space on YouTube. Okay, so we have 10 yoga YouTube creators. So what we want to do here is we can ask it to analyze the content, like the videos themselves, the latest 3 videos, and also analyze the sentiment in the comments. And why is this important? So this is important because people are basically sharing what they're liking. It can analyze the actual content of each video, and it can analyze all the comments. So what we want to prompt it now is to analyze the 3 latest videos, and you can ask like 10, and analyze the sentiment in the comments. Based on that, suggest any gaps and potential value that I can provide as a YouTube yoga creator. And it doesn't have to be that you're a YouTube yoga creator. You may be building multiple income stream within your niche based on your interest, right? And you want to explore, is there potential for any physical product that people are missing? Is there something people are really asking for that I can turn into the digital product? So you can ask a number of different questions. You can use these insights in so many different ways. But let's just run with this prompt and see what we get.
Hello everyone, welcome to Yoga with Adrienne. I'm Adrienne, this is Sweet Benji, and we have a quick and yummy neck and upper back mobility practice for you today. So thank you so much for being here.
I'll just pause for a second. So it actually took over the browser, and you can see in real life how this agent or assistant, how they're watching the videos, then reading the comments, right? And analyzing all of that. I'm not doing anything right now. It's doing it on its own. We can always pause it, but now I will resume it. So here's the detailed analysis of the sentiment of the comments on the last 3 videos, right? Highly positive, grateful, appreciated, community feeling, relatability, diversity of viewers. So it analyzes each of them and it gives us what we ask for. So what are the identified gaps and opportunities here? We can see lack of beginner and injury-specific guidance, missive interactive community aspect, so ideas to host live Q&A, practice live streams. School community could be part of this. You're getting ideas, you're getting inspiration. Desire for routines and serious-based practice, 30-day challenges. A lot of people are saying, like, I really want to start create content, I really want to start build community, but I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to create. So you're basically like sitting there and you just don't know where to start. And here, you just have all this insights now. Put all of those together and ask you to create a 30-day content plan based on this. And of course, like you will you will actually give context. What is that you're building and find intersection of that. But I think there is no more excuse of not knowing what to create about, honestly. Let's try the next one is news and staying up to date with what's happening in the space. So this would tie well into if you just love staying updating on the news in your space, or you actually write a newsletter, like a weekly newsletter where you share some of the insights and your thoughts of what's happening in this space. So what we can ask Perplexity to do is find the most relevant research about mental health benefits of yoga with sources. And Perplexity actually is really good into finding sources. and showing them compared to other LLMs. Maybe yoga is not a great example. If you're in a more fast-paced niche, so for example, if you're in AI, if you're in marketing, you can just ask it to create you daily briefings of the news within the space. Analyze the news from this week let's stay with yoga and see, in yoga niche. Here's some ideas, sources, industry, trends, noteworthy publications, and you can take it wherever you want. You can already see here Perplexity suggests like some related prompts. So examine monetization models effective for yoga content creators. Will take you to that space. So online membership, private small groups, workshops, retreats, brand deals, affiliate marketing, digital products, specialized niche subscription. The reason why I've chosen this use case, actually, it's partly because there is this conception that for people in this type of space, right, that is very much dependent on interaction, human interaction, practicing your craft. There's this misconception that it's either you do that and you're broke, or you always have a job and you can never make it a living. I think the creator economy and online space has changed this drastically. I almost assume that everyone knows that, but I do a lot of yoga. I try different studios and I talk to a lot of teachers. And to my surprise, they would love to do it full time, but they just don't see a way, because they still have their day jobs and this is their hobby. And even though they would love to do it full time, they just don't see the possibilities. And I think there's so many professions and niches, if you will, like that, where people are just locked into this thinking that if they love doing something, they can only do it on the side as a hobby. And this is not true. This is absolutely not true. I just want to re-emphasize this, regardless whatever type of teacher, coach, creator you are, there is always ways. So let's close this up. Another cool things that I just want to mention is that Perplexity can search your history. So for example, if you searched for something on this browser, for example, last week I was looking at fall candles on Etsy. So what you can do is you can type it like, what was this candle I was looking at last week? And it actually did find the very Etsy candle that I was looking at last week. Tell me in the comments if I'm the only one, but my history is I have favorites, I have long list of things I'm saving, and I never can find anything there. So it's helpful for me. So start thinking it's also from perspective. As I always tell people who start leveraging AI for their life, for their business, have this post-it next to your computer that says, how can AI help? When you get this browser, just try do everything that you do in Google, but don't stop there, because often we know what's possible with Google when we Google things, but we're honestly just scratching the surface of what we can do here. And that's important to remember. So even though I've used it for a couple of weeks, now the more I use, every day I get this aha moments. And I'm like, wow, it's beyond the perception of what a search engine or a browser can do. The earlier that you start using it, the more you will be comfortable with this. And it's like with any AI tool, soon you will start thinking, I wonder if I can do that. And then you just go and test it. And yes, you can. I wonder if I can do this thing. Let's test it. So the opportunities and benefits open up only if you use it, and you use it not just once or twice, but you make it a habit to see how it can help you with your workflows, with whatever you do. Let's say you have a YouTube channel. That's actually a great use case. You go to your analytics on your YouTube channel and you just ask it to analyze the analytics. Ask to analyze the most watched videos, the sentiment of your comments, and suggest 10 new ideas for new videos. And this comes to me now because I'm already thinking, what else can I do? And the final use case that I just want to mention them because those are the ones that are fronting, everyone is talking about. It's your email management, check who I get email from, or write this email, or calendar, look at my calendar, book new meetings, or order me groceries. Honestly, maybe it's just me, but I don't get it because, first of all, I build my business in a way that I minimize both meetings and emails, right? So I just don't have the problem that needs to be managed. And I know this is very different for most people. So if you need that, just check out on the page like how to use it for that. And grocery shopping, honestly, it's so much easier. The apps are amazing right now. You can just go and order your groceries like in the app that you're already using that already have your saved items. I just don't compute the importance of this use case. I'm sorry, everyone who's loving it. But what it can also do here is that, for example, let's say that if you're looking for some product, you want to make a big purchase, you want to buy like infrared sauna blanket. So you can just set your criteria, say, I want it like this, I want it below this price. You can do this research, you can ask it to analyze the reviews of this product and just see, which one would be the best product for you. Also, you can ask it to see if there's any discounts available online. So let's say you chose the product, you just say, check online if there is any available discounts to do this purchase. And I actually tried it a couple of times. I would say in most times the discount codes were not working, but there was one time that it worked. So it's a little bit like depending how much time you want to spend on it and how big of a purchase it is. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm definitely going to be using Comet as my default browser from now on. I hope you found value in the use cases that I showed and it sparked some ideas how you can use it for your business. If you have some ideas for other use cases, just drop them in a comment below and I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you and I'll see you in the next video.